Right now, another possible name change for a local school, why it's happening, and how the process could look.
Plus, with gas prices still high, we have some surefire ways to save at the pump.
And another round of spring-like conditions. We're going to be planning your day with details coming up.
Good Tuesday morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this March 15th. I'm Josh Brighter.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. Leah Linscheid is going to be back with us tomorrow.
I think she's on a jet plane somewhere right now.
Yeah, on her way back to the States off of her honeymoon. She's been gone a while.
She has been gone a while. That jet lag is going to be real tomorrow morning. I'm happy to see her, but it's not going to be probably pleasant for her to have to set that alarm again.
Might be a rough couple of days to adjust back. Well, topping the news this morning, the Madison School Board selecting a committee to evaluate the possible name change for another school.
Last month, Thomas Jefferson Middle School's principal read a letter from the school community asking for change. It's just the first step in the process for finding a new name for the school. Some parents see no problem in that change.
This is a public school. It's meant to represent the community that it's in. So I really don't have a problem with any name change. They could change it every year for all I care.
The name change is likely linked to Jefferson owning hundreds of slaves, as well as being linked to sexually abusing Sally Hemings, whom he owned from the time she was a child. There's no exact timetable for when this change may happen. When new information comes out, we'll push those updates through the Channel 3000 mobile app. You can download it for free today in your app store.
Dane County law enforcement says it's experiencing an unprecedented number of traffic fatalities involving both speeding and alcohol or drug use. A summary at a recent Traffic Safety Commission meeting showed during the fourth quarter of 2021, 2 of every 3 fatalities on Dane County roadways resulted from crashes where both were a factor.
It's alarming, and when you look at it also in the context of the whole year and really the last couple of years, the increase in traffic fatalities has really been alarming.
The overall number of traffic fatalities also increased significantly last year. The county averages 33 crash-related deaths annually over the past 5 years. There were 48 in 2021, a 33% increase.
Coming up on 6:02 on a Tuesday morning, Julian Seawright in for Chris Reese this morning. Julian, good morning to you.
And we are looking at still some spring-like temperatures for us. Very pleasant start to our Tuesday morning. As our current conditions are a bit chillier than they were yesterday, we're still looking at 30 degrees to kick off our Tuesday morning for us. A bit of cloud cover to start off as well, but that will be clearing up as we get into the rest of our afternoon. And one other difference that we're seeing from yesterday into this morning is that we're not seeing that snow that was really blanketing much of the northern Wisconsin area. We're all pretty dry as we're kicking off our Tuesday morning. Temperatures 34 degrees into Janesville with 31 in Platteville. Many of us are just a tad below freezing, but we are still a bit more pleasant than we have been in recent history. Now, as we take a look at our planning the rest of today, just know that throughout the rest of this morning, we're going to hang into those 30s, but then as we approach the noon hour, the 40s will come into play, and we're going to warm up very quickly getting into those 50s with plenty of sunshine and plenty of much more milder temperatures for us throughout the rest of today. Now, as we go in throughout the rest of the day, just know it's going to be on the quiet side, especially as we get into the afternoon and for the 5 p.m. commute. If you wish to eat outside, it's definitely going to be a nice one, as we're still looking at some light winds throughout much of the area. As we get into the overnight hours transitioning into Wednesday, we're going to start off still a little on the cooler side, but then we're warming up even more so, getting into our Wednesday afternoon with 60s, and those southerly winds are going to be on the breezier side, so hold on to your hats if you're going to be outside heading into our Wednesday afternoon. Now, we are keeping an eye on not just the dry conditions, but the chances of us changing it up and seeing some precipitation rolling in, especially from Thursday and into Friday. Next week, we are looking for some spring showers, but Thursday and Friday, we are looking for a bit more of a tricky forecast for us as we get into our Thursday and Friday night, because there's a system that's looking to be bringing in not just some rain showers, but potentially even some snow mixing in. That would just be north as well of Madison. We're going to be looking at that throughout the next few days, but until then, enjoy the mild temperatures that we're seeing, especially with the middle 60s going into our Wednesday, and this weekend is going to be shaping up to be on the even nicer side as well. As we're looking at dry conditions for the weekend, and temperatures will be from the low to upper 50s as well. But again, not to sound the alarm, but one thing we are taking or putting a little bit of concern on will be for Thursday night into Friday, and that's because we are keeping an eye on just where that precipitation of that low track will be setting up. We'll be looking more into detail with that in a few moments, but until then, just know for the next 10 days, we are definitely looking at a whole lot of spring-like conditions for us here in Madison, guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Around the state this morning, the Department of Health Services is warning food share members that they could have compromised Quest cards. Here are just a couple of ways the DHS is urging folks to take action to avoid fraud. You can give Quest Card Services a call to change your PIN. That number's on your screen. Be sure to monitor your balances and change your password to limit unauthorized access.
6:05 right now. Some hopeful news when it comes to the pain at the pump. In the last 24 hours, the cost of a barrel of oil is down more than 8% to $99.76. It's the first time oil has dipped below the $100 mark since March 1st. Traders say the drop comes largely from COVID-19 lockdowns in China and possible progress in the talks between Ukraine and Russia.
Though the price of a barrel is going down, there is still effective ways to save on gas. Donya Backus has some tips to save some money.
At gas stations across the country, frustration is growing.
It doesn't make sense for us to pay $6 a gallon?
With prices hitting levels not seen in a decade, drivers like Megan Barzesh are looking for bargains.
I'm trying to save some money. I decided to have membership with Costco so I get cheaper prices.
Memberships can come with a great advantage.
Doug Shoup with AAA says Costco, Sam's Club, and other wholesale stores offer some of the best discounts on gas.
But keep in mind, a lot of people know about those. You may wait in some long lines to get that gasoline.
To find the cheapest fuel at traditional stations, apps like Gas Buddy, AAA Mobile, and Google Maps list prices in your area. You can also save by using regular grade gas. AAA says only use the more expensive premium gas if your vehicle requires it. If not, regular gas will do. On the road, maximize fuel efficiency by staying out of the fast lane.
Most vehicles will hit their peak fuel efficiency at about 50 miles per hour. Then it starts to go down the faster the vehicle goes. So if you reduce your freeway speeds by 5 to 10 miles per hour, you can actually increase your fuel economy by up to 14%.
Shoup says it's also important to keep the car running at peak performance. And that's with the maintenance of your vehicle.
Absolutely.
Replacing dirty air filters and faulty spark plugs helps the engine burn less fuel. And keeping tires properly inflated can lead to savings down the road. Donya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Down just above the Illinois border, Illinois license plates are filling up at Wisconsin gas stations in Pleasant Prairie.
Right now, Wisconsin is averaging about 50 cents less than the gallon in Illinois, bringing people up to the Badger State.
I noticed it's a lot higher on the Illinois side, so I pretty much always come to Wisconsin.
It's only a 10-minute drive to save 50 cents, sometimes 75 cents a gallon, so it's worth my while.
The barrel of gas looking now to be decreasing, but let's take a look at the last month here in Wisconsin. The average price for a gallon went up 78 cents. If you multiply that by 14 gallons, that's the average gas tank. You are now paying almost $11 extra a week on gas. That adds up to almost $600 more spent on gas in a year.
I have a request. If the folks from Illinois do cross the border, could you leave your Cubs and your Bears gear in Chicago?
Stay down there.
Yeah, that Cubs mask, gosh.
We'll take their money, but just don't bring that stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, 50 cents a gallon cheaper. I mean, that is,
adds up.
That's no small price there.
Even across town, I was saying earlier this morning during the commercial that if you kind of look around, there are some places that sometimes are 20 cents or more cheaper, and that adds up. If you're putting 10 gallons in over time,
I hear you. You're going to see a lot more people driving around to find those cheaper prices, too. 6:08 now. Coming up, the Packers continue to make headlines this offseason. Which players are staying, going, while one big star is in limbo?
Also ahead here in our 6 o'clock hour, how local folks are still recovering from the state's first tornado of the year.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Arby's, 2 for $6 every day. Arby's classic roast beef, adored by billions. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon. An international sensation. But you haven't heard them.
What can Sono Bello do for you? How about a new shape?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
New confidence.
I can see a huge difference. Look at this.
New you.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
With Sono Bello, you can remove stubborn body fat permanently in just one visit. Don't wait a moment longer to reveal the new you.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and find out how you can get $250 off. Sono Bello uses Tri-Sculpt micro-laser liposuction to remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently for incredible transformations in just one visit.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Call 1-888-622-8360 or go to sonobello.com.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:12 this morning. Today is the first official day of March Madness, with the first 4 in Dayton happening tonight. For the Badgers, they'll be taking on Colgate Friday night in Milwaukee. Ticket prices are dropping slightly this morning, but you can still expect to spend well over $200 when all is said and done. Ticketmaster's lowest price is $240. That is for one seat in the upper deck. Tickets ranging all the way into the thousands for the best seats available. The ticket also grants you admission to the LSU versus Iowa State game, which bumps up the value of the ticket.
Not even a week after being franchise tagged by the Green Bay Packers, Davante Adams has informed the team he will not play under it. He's made that pretty clear that he wants a long-term deal, and the two sides now have until July 15th to get one done before the franchise tag officially kicks in for the 2022 season. The franchise tag would pay Adams more than $20 million this year. It would give Adams, though, no job security as he enters his 30s.
In the meantime, the Packers are organizing the rest of their 2022 roster. All-Pro linebacker Devondre Campbell inked a long-term contract, 5 years, $50 million. Since last June, he went from unemployed to being named first-team All-Pro and now being with the Packers for the prime of his career.
Campbell wasn't the only linebacker to get paid either. Preston Smith just signed a 4-year, $52 million contract extension. Green Bay also cut Zadarius Smith and Billy Turner. Those 3 moves are going to save the Packers nearly $27 million in cap space. That, in turn, would help develop a deal for Adams and get Aaron Rodgers' new deal set in stone.
Former Chicago Bears quarterback Mitch Trubisky may start again in the NFL. He's planning on signing a 2-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He says his decisions came down to the Steelers or the New York Giants. In Pittsburgh, he will compete with Mason Rudolph for the starting quarterback position as the franchise begins the post-Ben Roethlisberger era.
The Milwaukee Brewers making some moves, too. They just added former NL MVP Andrew McCutchen to the team. The teams just agreed on terms after McCutchen has spent his last 3 seasons in Philadelphia. Brewers fans may know him best for his time as a Pittsburgh Pirate when he won MVP and took him to multiple playoffs. McCutcheon's bat will play a pretty big role in the National League this year because they just added the designated hitter.
6:14 right now. It has been more than 1 week since a tornado tore through the Stoughton area. As Tamia Folks shows us, people in that area still recovering this week.
And we didn't have a chance to go down to the basement.
Brian Piper and his wife were having a regular night at home when the lights went out and the house started to shake.
It just sounded like a freight train.
The storm came through the area with little warning, with no tornado sirens going off to warn people of the potential threat.
Tree went right over the neighbor's garage, and that was huge. That was a big project. But we got lucky. We were fortunate.
On March 5th, up to 88-mile-per-hour winds swept through residential neighborhoods. Wiping out trees, breaking windows, and shutting off the power for many, the tornado's impact left significant damage to many homes in the area. Today, community members and crews from the Stoughton Public Works Department are working to clean up the mess.
We had extensive tree damage as well as homes that were damaged. We had tree debris everywhere you can imagine.
Almost every home on every block experienced some damage from the storm.
Our main focus is on opening up those streets so our emergency responders, so Stoughton utilities can get in there to restore the electric. So there's power lines down everywhere.
Despite the challenges, many were happy that they made it through safely and with the support of cleanup crews.
Our staff is put together to handle these types of events, and I'm really proud of the way that they responded.
In Stoughton, Tamia Folks, News 3 Now.
Most of the leftover debris from the storm is now cleared away, but people in the area will be able to drop any additional yard waste at the Stoughton Yard Waste site starting April 2nd.
I'm glad we went back and followed up on that. That was a pretty big deal down there.
Very messy, too, and it was one of those things where this time of the year, we got the storms, that we had that snow on top of it, so that cleanup had to be a little delayed there, too.
Well, let's check in with Julian C. right now and see if there's any potential disruptions in our forecast. Hey there, Julian.
Well, in terms of disruptions, we are still keeping our eye on for Thursday night into our Friday for any kind of disruption, mainly being not just rain, but a mixing of some snowfall that could be impacting areas of southern Wisconsin and north of Madison as well. This is what we're looking at here as one of the many models that have been very consistent, but at the same time has also been quite aggressive in terms of trying to bring in a winter storm into southern Wisconsin for us. Now, here's what we're looking at here. Going into our Friday morning, we can see it has pretty much transitioned all into snow. Any kind of rain or mixing is going to be in northern Illinois or areas into the southeast between Kenosha and Milwaukee. As we continue throughout our Friday, then we're going to be looking at plenty of snowfall that's going to try to linger itself into Saturday. However, this is also going to be a worst case scenario type of guidance because we would need plenty of factors for that low to be connecting with another low that is over into Canada that would connect into more of that colder air to be bringing in all of the winter storm factors into southern Wisconsin. Because here's another look at another model that we're going to be seeing. As you can see, it's pretty much all rain, not nearly as organized either, especially as we transition into Friday morning. And it's going to be clearing itself out by the time we get into our Saturday. A quick look at our traffic, however, as we switch gears, we are still looking at green all along the belt line as we're starting off for this morning and over into the interstate. There is some construction, but for the most part, we are still looking all green and smooth as we are kicking off our commutes for our Tuesday morning. It's going to do it for traffic. We'll have more details of weather coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Thanks, Julian. Looking ahead this morning, Costco is getting ready to drop its senior hours. The special operating schedule began a couple of years ago because of the pandemic. Members over 60 years old, first responders, healthcare workers, they were all given chances to shop without the general public there. Costco officials say that the schedule returns to normal on April 18th.
The trial of 4 men accused of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is being delayed. It will be delayed until at least Thursday after an essential trial participant tested positive for COVID over the weekend. The trial began with opening statements last Wednesday, followed by 2 days of testimony. That trial expected to last up to 6 weeks.
A Democratic Political Action Committee is filing a complaint against former President Donald Trump. The American Bridge Super PAC told the Federal Election Commission that Trump is raising and spending money to promote a third presidential campaign. Federal campaign finance laws require anyone raising money to support a campaign to formally declare their candidacy before raising or spending more than $5,000. Trump has not made that declaration.
Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson will become the latest celebrity to fly to space with Jeff Bezos' rocket company, Blue Origin. The company announcing Davidson will fly alongside 5 paying customers on Blue Origin's 60-foot-tall New Shepard rocket. That launch is slated for next Wednesday, March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning.
The Rolling Stones are returning to the road in Europe for the summer. The 60 tour marks the band's 6 decades in rock and roll. They'll be in Madrid, Liverpool, Milan, Paris, and the Stones' hometown of London. Steve Jordan is going to step in as drummer after Charlie Watts died this year. The last time the Stones performed in the U.S. was 2021 as part of their No Filter tour. The new tour starts June 1st.
Coming up on 620 right now on a Tuesday morning, and still ahead for us, we're going to meet the 100-year-old Wisconsin woman who loves to bowl.
And new footage this morning from the devastation in Ukraine and the latest efforts to broker peace. That's in our next half hour.
This portion of News 3 Now is brought to you by Shopko Optical.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. That's why we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more, keeping only the best of the best on our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk so they can actually see how this works. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is wholly words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or just when you want to like get rid of the bags? And
Yeah.
you would,
I mean,
your morning routine.
It absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. Apply it underneath your eyes, fine line wrinkles, forehead lines. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
We're back at 6:23 on a Tuesday morning. Joel sharing his morning with us. Those sunrises a little later these days.
A little later. The sun's staying up later too, obviously this time of year.
Yeah. Ruining our sleep.
I like it. We're the only ones that complain about the sunset being a little later, but
well, we go to bed early.
I know we do.
You know, I try to get to bed before 8 o'clock at night.
That's 8 o'clock is always my goal.
Yeah.
Last night it was about 8:15, which is starting to push it. And then we were talking about this. That silver alert went off last night. Woke us both up.
Scared me half to death last night.
I missed it.
But good. Those warnings are in there for a reason. We don't want to downplay that at all. Julian, what time do you go to bed at night when you have to work the morning shift?
Oh, man, I'm awful at this. I am not as structured as you guys because I have so much going on with my life that I'm usually up till like 9:30.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so 4 hours to 5 hours of sleep is usually what I'm running on. Good thing I have coffee.
I was going to say, coffee is a lifesaver for you then.
It is such a lifesaver. I've only started drinking it for the past year, and it has helped me tremendously.
You know, I got into morning TV years ago, and everyone's like, you're going to be drinking coffee before you know it. Used to hate it, and I have to drink it every day now.
Yeah.
Which actually, I need some right now. So.
Well, we're going to thank Joel for sharing his morning with us. Hey, how about this? A Wisconsin native is celebrating her 100th birthday with some bowling.
This is so cool. Check out Bernice Bolton, born on March 14th, 1922. She always loves moving, bowling every week in her senior bowling league in Racine. Her son says he always knew she would make it to 100, noting that she is still very much independent. Bernice scored a 133 in her first game, saying she is focused on becoming a better bowler even at her age.
Yeah, 133, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
She doesn't look, she looks fantastic, doesn't she?
Look at her move.
You know, I was just thinking because Gary, he does bowling pretty much every day. I wonder how he would stack up against her.
Gary does bowl a lot.
Yeah, we should probably put them together.
Gary versus Bernice.
Exactly.
On the next News 3 Now this morning.
That'd be a special feature right there.
I'd be there. I'd be there for sure. All right, Julian, how are we looking outside this morning?
Our bus stop forecast is going to be shaping up pretty well for us. As we take a look at what we're going to be seeing, well, folks, we will be on the cooler side, but don't worry, we are going to be seeing that warm-up as we get into our bus drop-off, into those upper 40s, and definitely expect and be happy that we're seeing plenty of sunshine for today as well. Taking a look at our 10-day forecast, well, we are keeping some spring-like showers in the forecast for us, and we're keeping our eye on for Thursday nights into Friday as well. Over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Julian. Stick around, folks. We'll be back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Enjoy great savings this month and get 30% off a complete pair of glasses.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Wow, this is where you work now? Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're going to use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
In Madison, contact Heating and Cooling Incorporated to maximize your comfort and energy savings whatever the season.
It's Ford Truck Month, America. With new inventory arriving daily, it's time to get after it in a Ford F-150 and a Ford Ranger. Stop by your local Ford dealer today and let us help you custom order your truck your way. Then we'll get after building it. It's Ford Truck Month. Visit your local Ford dealer today. Order your F-150 to lock in 0% financing for 66 months and $500 cash, plus an extra $1,000 retailer order bonus.
Everything is relative. Travel, for example. A trip to Stoughton might seem like a long way, but if you're shopping for diamonds, it's closer than you think.
Diamond Select.
Importers of shimmering diamonds from the mines of South Africa to the streets of Antwerp and Tel Aviv. They shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to.
Diamond Select direct pricing saves you money.
On GIA certified South African diamonds.
Diamond Select.
Downtown Stoughton.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical recommends a comprehensive eye exam annually. Schedule your exam at shopko.com.
This morning, new images of destruction in Ukraine, new developments too on peace talks, and the European leaders traveling to Kyiv to show solidarity.
And we have another day of a taste of spring. We'll plan out your day and what to expect coming up.
Plus, getting ready for concerts on the square in 2022. We are getting excited for today's big announcement for this year's dates exclusively here on News 3 Now this morning, just moments away.
We get to break some news.
We do. Thanks for joining us right now on a Tuesday morning, March 15th, halfway through the month already. I'm Josh Prater.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. Leah Linscheid's going to be back with us tomorrow morning. Topping the news this morning, Chandler Halderson, the man convicted of killing and dismembering his parents, is scheduled to be sentenced Thursday.
But he may not be in the courtroom for it. Attorneys filed a motion late last week requesting he not be required to attend. State law says he'll receive a mandatory life sentence after being convicted of killing his parents, Bart and Krista. But the judge in the case will still rule on the possibility of parole. According to a local defense attorney, there are several reasons why a defense team would make that request.
And that's what I think this really is it's the defense asking for permission to skip it, when really they're saying, hey, look, we've got a defendant who's not going to be cooperative coming to sentencing. Can we just consider it a forfeiture now, rather than have the courtroom dramatics the day of where maybe somebody's refusing to get out of a jail cell?
We're back on the record.
Prosecutor William Brown wrote the judge asking that Halderson's request be denied. He argues his appearance is required by state law. Judge John Hyland's office tells us he expects to rule on the motion before Thursday.
To the crisis in Ukraine now. Today, Russian and Ukrainian officials are set to hold another round of talks aimed at a ceasefire. But the U.S. says Vladimir Putin doesn't appear to want a diplomatic solution. Russia continues its aerial barrage with missiles continuing to rain down on Kyiv and other cities. New footage here showing strikes hitting a residential neighborhood in Kyiv just this morning. Ukrainian officials say at least one person was killed and others were trapped inside the building.
More injuries from airstrikes as well. A Fox News correspondent has been hospitalized after being injured while reporting near Kyiv. According to the network, Benjamin Hall had been deployed in recent weeks to cover the war in Ukraine. In a memo, the Fox's chief executive says minimal details are available this morning. The news comes just one day after we learned that award-winning American journalist Brent Renaud was killed by Russian forces.
New this morning, the leaders of Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia say they're traveling to Ukraine's capital today. They say it's part of a European Union mission to show support and solidarity with the country. The UN estimates nearly 3 million people have already fled from the violence, Poland receiving more than half of the refugees. Tomorrow, Ukraine's president is set to address members of Congress virtually as he continues to urge the West to send fighter jets and more weapons.
It is nearly unheard of in modern times that we hear from a leader fighting for his life, fighting for his country's survival.
In the besieged city of Mariupol, we're also seeing drone video of the damage from ongoing battles there. The video shot by a unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. They say around 2,500 residents of the city have been killed so far. Officials say the city's food and water supplies are also running low. Reports say today more than 160 private cars were able to leave the city, the first successful evacuation in 2 weeks. We'll continue pushing out updates on this developing story through our Channel 3000 mobile app. You can download it for free today in your app store.
6:33 now. Let's check out with Julian Seawright in your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Julian.
And we are starting to see the sun begin to rise for us as we continue into our Tuesday morning. And just know that it is a bit cooler than it was yesterday as we're waking up, but we'll start to see improvements as we approach the afternoon hours. Even though the 30s will linger a bit longer as we get into the rest of our morning, we will see those 40s by the noon hour, and temperatures will even rise into those 50s. But as we see temperatures around southern Wisconsin, 34 degrees right now in Janesville with of 30 degrees in Fort Platteville. Many of us are into those lower 30s and into the middle 20s throughout southern Wisconsin. So it is on the cooler side, but we will see once again some spring-like feels as we get into the rest of our afternoon. And that's what we're going to be seeing here. On top of that, plenty of sunshine will be in our forecast for us. As we're going to be seeing around the 5 p.m. commute is going to be on the quieter side, but plenty of sun and clear skies for us. As we transition into Wednesday morning, we can see a bit more milder start as temperatures will already be into the upper 30s and lower 40s by the 7 a.m. commute. And as we get into lunchtime and into the evening, we will see those 60s starting to roll in, but it will be a breezy. So make sure you're holding onto your hats for tomorrow as those wind strengths will start to increase as we get into our Wednesday afternoon. For our running forecast, well, it's going to be a great day to do it at all of the day parts. From morning, afternoon, and evening, we're looking at pretty good conditions for it, especially since it's going to be so quiet. But hold on to the quiet weather because we are looking for some shakeup later into the week. But what kind of shakeup is really the challenge here? Because from this one model, which we've been showing all morning long, is trying to bring in hints of a winter storm here in southern Wisconsin as it lingers into early Saturday morning. However, we are also looking at its counterpart, which is bringing in some rain, mainly into the northern Illinois border, and it really kind of missing southern Wisconsin for us. So the takeaway here is that we are looking for some precipitation, but just how much in the timing is really the tricky part of this storm system that's trying to develop itself going into the later part of this week. But until then, we are looking for some slight chances of seeing some rainfall from Thursday into Friday, but this weekend's shaping up to be onto the quiet side. But definitely enjoy the spring conditions while we have it, and then we are going to keep our eye on for our Thursday into our Friday for some chances of that rain and mixing in as we go into our Friday as well. Here is a look at what we're going to be seeing for the next 10 days. Saturday and Sunday are going to be on the quiet side, but it will be brief because going into next week as we are welcoming the first true week of spring, we're getting some spring showers, guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. We have some new video this morning. It shows a vehicle that nearly crashed into an east side home. Police say the crash involved two cars just before 9:45 p.m. near the intersection of East Johnson and North 6th Street. Police have not said if there are any injuries. This footage here shows the damage that the car hit a stone wall just feet from the home's porch. Both cars have significant damage.
In Rock County this morning, the Beloit Police Department is planning to hold community meetings this week to talk about the city's response to violent crimes. Happening tomorrow, a meeting is being held at Hackett Elementary, and on Thursday, another one at Merrill Community Center. Both are scheduled for 6. Next week, 2 more sessions will focus on the use of force and mental health.
Some breaking news this morning we are following. Police say they now have a suspect in custody in connection with the shooting of homeless people sleeping on the streets of New York City and Washington, D.C. Police in D.C. say they're interviewing a man they believe may be the man in these photos. Over the span of about 2 weeks, the suspect is accused of shooting 5 homeless people while they slept on the streets, killing 2 of them. Authorities say all the shootings appear to be related and premeditated, occurring in the early morning hours, usually while the victims were alone.
The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection has announced a confirmed case of the highly contagious avian flu in a commercial chicken flock in Jefferson County. This is Wisconsin's first confirmed case of avian flu since 2015. DACAP and USDA are working closely with animal health officials on a joint incident response. The affected premises will not move poultry products, and birds on the property will be euthanized to prevent the spread of the disease. Birds from the flock will not enter the food system.
We do have a team on site of USDA Veterinary Services staff and our own Division of Animal Health staff to assess that site. We're working closely with the flock owners and managers and their veterinarian.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, avian flu does not present an immediate public health concern, and no human cases of avian flu have been found in the United States. The flu also does not pose a food safety risk. Properly handling and cooking poultry and eggs to an internal temperature of 165 degrees kills the virus.
Still ahead, we'll have another update on your weather and traffic.
And concerts on the square making its return this summer. After the break, we are joined by Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's music director for the year's dates. That's only on News 3 Now when we come back.
Dylan, how's that sofa you can't return from that big internet site?
Honestly,
not that great.
Well, Slumberland can help. It's our biggest finance sales event of the year. Look what just $20 a month will get you when you spend $1,200 and pay no interest for 5 years.
Now is the time to start preparing your lawn and garden for spring with help from Menards. We have all the tools, accessories, and supplies on hand to make your lawn and garden the envy of the neighborhood this spring. Start with Menards Premium Crabgrass Preventer and Lawn Fertilizer. This formula was specially curated to prevent crabgrass from growing. A 17-pound bag is on sale. Just $12.99 after 11% rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Senator Ron Johnson, you know, when I lost my husband, he made sure he reached out to me. He made sure I had everything that I need, and still, you know, pick up the phone and call me if you need anything. He always says that a lot of people say things when they don't know. I said, I just wish people knew you like I knew you. So the best advice I could ever give a person is before you listen to what somebody else has to say, please get to know a person for yourself.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Everyone's invited to the prom. From the creators of the Book of Mormon, Elf, and The Drowsy Chaperone, The Prom is a musical comedy about big Broadway stars on a mission to change the world and the love they discover that unites them all. The Prom makes you believe in musical comedy again. So full of happiness that you think your heart is about to burst. Everyone deserves a chance to celebrate.
Everyone's invited to the prom. Get your tickets at overture.org.
Oh, my back. Hey, Dylan, need a mattress? Well, luckily, Slumberland has a big Sealy sale. Look what you can get for $20 a month. A Sealy Posturepedic mattress and a power base. And you'll pay no interest for 5 years at Slumberland Furniture.
U.S. ad spending is set to surpass $300 billion by 2022, and the greater Madison area is poised for major growth. So now would be a great time to consider a career in multimedia sales and to join our team selling our top-rated media and digital solutions. Work for a company that offers training, autonomy, flexibility, income growth, upward mobility, and work-life balance with a competitive wage. If you have a passion to drive results for local businesses, then visit morganmurphymedia.com right now to apply.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now this morning.
It is a big day today. Concerts on the Square coming back, and News 3 Now this morning is the first to bring you all the details.
Exciting news. Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra Music Director Andrew Sewell is here with us to help break some news this morning. Andrew, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So let's get right to it. It is returning to the Square this summer, correct?
That's right. On June the 29th, we kick things back off with a group from Las Vegas, Spectrum. It's a Motown group. And from then on, we've got 6 concerts every Wednesday, starting at 7.
All right. That's what we've been waiting for, the dates and the big news that we are.
Right. June 29th. It's usually the last Wednesday of June, the closest Wednesday to the solstice. And it's been that tradition in the last 38 years of Concerts on the Square, our 38th year.
Wow. So talk to us about the pieces. What can everybody expect this season?
Well, the first one, as I mentioned, it's a Motown group. So it's got Under the Boardwalk, 4 Tops medley, you name it. It's going to be a great way to kick things off. The second one is a celebration for July the 4th on July the 6th. It's a traditional one with a Young Artist Competition winner. We've got a program featuring our composer in residence. On the third program, and local artists with a commission. On the fourth one, we're featuring the Ho-Chunk Nation with The Planets by Gustav Holst. And the last 2 programs, 2 of the young men artists from last summer are coming back when we were at Bree Stevens Field. Maxime Landau, a pianist, playing Rachmaninoff Third Piano Concerto, and Xavier Foley, an extraordinary young bassist, is playing his own concerto, and he wowed the crowd last year to finish things off.
So, Andrew, Concerts on the Square, obviously a Madison staple, been around for so long. The fact that you guys had to take a couple of years off from the Square, you know, how exciting is it for you guys to be able to be back there again this summer?
It's very exciting for us all. Of course, we're all a little with bated breath because of the way things have rolled. But the good thing is, one thing we have learned throughout this pandemic is to be flexible. And we've been so grateful that the Madison community and the public have been flexible with us and gone with us. The most important thing is that we've kept the music going, and that's what we will continue to do, providing Madison with great music. It's too early in the morning for me. Anyway, it's great for us to be here. We really appreciate being on Channel 3 to let everyone know this early, and you can buy your tables or put down your blanket. It's a free event for everyone.
Well, News 3 Now is proud to be a sponsor this year. And I think I speak for a lot of Madisonians when I say we are so excited to have you guys back on the square, and just so proud to have you as such an integral part of the community and something to look forward to every summer.
I think this is the normalcy we have been waiting for. You know, last year was awesome that you guys were able to be at Breese-Stevens Field and be able to have that, but the fact that you're going to be at the square again, I mean, this is really going to be a special year, Andrew.
It will be, and the good news is that by that stage, the orchestra will be able to play together. Part of the reason to go to Breese-Stevens was because of distancing and just keeping people safe. Of course, we will still take precautions, and everybody will have their own space in which they will take those precautions. But being outdoors again, it's just something everyone's looking forward to. We're really excited about it, and we've got a great team, and we've got a great community, and we appreciate that very, very much.
All right, Andrew Sewell with the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, thank you so much for the time. And let's throw those details up one more time. We'll talk to you later, Andrew. Thanks again. All right, so starting on June 29th, every Wednesday for 6 weeks. Concerts on the square.
This just makes me smile, doesn't it?
Ear to ear right now.
For 6 weeks there, a lot to look forward to this summer. I know a lot of Madisonians. This is the news that they wanted to wake up to. Again, those concerts start at 7 o'clock right there on the square.
Free as always. All right, so Milwaukee welcomes the madness of March this weekend, and hotels are busy. When the NCAA tournament was in town in 2017, hotel rooms were booked all the way out to Brookfield. General manager for the Hilton Garden Inn Milwaukee downtown says demand jumped as soon as the brackets came out.
Going into this morning, we were sitting at about 80% occupied. We've seen fairly large increases in pricing throughout this week, over $200 for rooms.
So also in Milwaukee this weekend, there is a regional volleyball tournament. The two events combined are expected to draw a crowd of about 25,000 downtown. Only 16,000 rooms are available.
Happening today, Madison B-cycles are returning to the streets, another sure sign of spring. The electric bike shares have added 8 new return stations around town to get the season started. That's on top of last year's 9 new stations that were added. They're also adding 75 new bikes to the fleet for you to rent. This year, the standard allotted ride time is going from 60 minutes to an hour and a half for those trips. Annual memberships are $135. Monthly memberships cost $30.
647, let's check in with Julian C right now in that forecast. Not too bad out there this morning, Julian.
No, not too bad at all. We're still a bit cooler than we were yesterday. For some areas around Dane County and north are below the freezing points, but we can see just around Rock County and Janesville, 34 degrees as of right now with 31 into Platteville. So some of us are a bit warmer than others, but still not too bad of a start. But planning out the rest of today, just know we are going to be seeing those milder temperatures once again as we get into the afternoon with plenty of sunshine, counterparts from what it was just yesterday. Now, once again, we are going to be keeping our eye on for changes that will be bringing in some rain and even potentially some snowfall for us into southern Wisconsin as we get into Thursday night into our Friday. Now, we are not holding on to this, but this is just a potential of what we could be seeing heading into the later part of this week. Now, as we take a look at our 10-day forecast, just know we are looking for some changes going into Thursday and Friday, but this weekend and for the following week, well, we're looking for some good changes as spring is going to really be sticking around for us, guys.
The news we like to hear. All the good news right here on Tuesday morning. We love to see it, Julian. Thank you. 6:48 right now. That morning sprint is straight ahead.
First, if you've got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us their picture so we can show it on TV, for crying out loud.
Please do it.
We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
$1 million worth of the best hot tubs in Madison are at Leisure Concepts. And right now, get immediate free delivery, free ozone system, cover lift, matching entry steps, supplies, and training. Our showroom is packed with brand new hot tubs for immediate delivery. We're including everything you need and all at a great low spring price. Leisure Concepts is open 7 days a week. Stop into our packed showroom in Madison on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. That's why we do up to a 27-point inspection on our produce. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more, keeping only the best of the best on our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Over these past months, we've all experienced changes and a great deal of reflection. But here's a change you can truly be excited about. Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, permanently removes the fat from your stomach, hips and thighs, and back.
I walked past mirrors. I didn't want to see any of that. I can't even tell you how excited I am about Sono Bello and what they've done for me.
I'm just living my best life now because I'm being the best that I can be.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently. Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. Plus, get $250 off instantly. You deserve to do something for you. Call 1-888-512-1753 or go to sonobello.com now.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
Here for you in a heartbeat. SSM Health, Heart and Vascular Care.
It is 6:51, time for the morning sprint.
Just announced, Concerts on the Square is back where it belongs this year, on the Square. So it'll start on June 29th. Every Wednesday from then on for 6 weeks. The first act will be a Las Vegas group called Spectrum. It's free as usual. It'll start at 7 p.m. every night.
Another round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine scheduled for this morning. The two sides have expressed some optimism in the past few days. The negotiators are to discuss peace, ceasefire, immediate withdrawal of troops, and security guarantees. Those talks are happening as the fighting rages on across Ukraine. In hard-hit Mariupol, the city council is warning that they are running out of their last reserves of food and water.
Police in Washington, D.C. and New York City say they have a suspect in custody this morning, accused of shooting at least 5 homeless people. The recent attack left at least 2 men dead. The attacks began in D.C. earlier this month. Last week in New York, the shooter targeted 2 more people. Homeless advocates say cities must create better housing options for those living on the streets.
The man convicted of killing and dismembering his parents is scheduled to be sentenced on Thursday. Attorneys filed a motion late last week requesting Chandler Halderson not be required to attend. State law says he'll receive a mandatory life sentence after being convicted of killing his parents, Bart and Krista. But the judge in the case will still rule on the possibility of parole. Judge John Hyland's office tells us he expects to rule on the motion before Thursday.
Looking ahead, the Badgers are getting ready for their big March Madness game. Ticket prices to Pfizer Forum are going fast, or they're going up, and tickets are going fast. You can expect to spend well over $200 when all is said and done. Ticketmaster's lowest price this morning is $240. That's for one seat in the upper deck. Tickets are ranging all the way into the thousands for the best tickets available.
As we pass the 2-year mark of the pandemic, DHS representatives and Governor Evers are saying thank you to frontline workers. Yesterday, they stopped by the Alliant Energy Center vaccination site. It was the first stop of their thank you tour, which will travel around the state in the coming days.
A wholesale fish dealer from Platteville convicted of illegally selling invasive carp. Ping Lee, co-owner of sole operator of Lee Fish Farm, was convicted of 2 misdemeanors and 17 forfeiture violations under a plea deal. Lee was ordered to pay more than $13,000 in fines. It is illegal to possess Asian carp in Wisconsin unless the fish have been gutted or the gills have been severed.
Many Ukraine cities are scrambling to protect dozens of monuments and art collections. Statues around the country are being covered with heavy canvas, fireproof padding, or being shielded with walls of sandbags. The famous opera house in Odessa, which survived World War II, is now under military guard. Paintings at the Kharkiv Museum, including Russian works, have been taken off the walls to be hidden away for protection.
Pfizer plans to donate all of its proceeds from a Russian subsidiary to support humanitarian causes in Ukraine. In a statement, the company says it's maintaining its supply of medication to Russia, but will be donating the profit from its Russian subsidiary to support Ukraine. The company will also stop new clinical trials in Russia and end some of its planned investments there. A spokesperson for the company called Russia's attacks unprovoked and unjustified.
Rising COVID cases have prompted lockdowns in several Chinese cities. It's the largest outbreak in the country in more than 2 years. The restrictions have forced many businesses to close, including the factory that makes iPhone and iPad parts. Foxconn says it will move its production lines to an area that's not under a lockdown order.
Dolly Parton is bowing out of this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations. Parton was the only country star to make the go-around this year. She shared a statement on her social media saying that while she was extremely flattered and grateful, she didn't want votes to be split because of her. Parton said she hopes the Hall of Fame will consider her again someday if she's, quote, ever worthy.
And our takeaways from our forecast is going to start with the 3 things we'll need to know, as we're going to have that taste of spring throughout much of the next few days, as we're looking at middle 50s for today and middle 60s heading into tomorrow. And then we are keeping an eye on a system to be bringing in some showers or even some mixing just north of Dane County going in from Thursday night into our Friday. But then afterwards, this weekend is going to be dry and it's also going to be mild. Now, here's a quick look at our 10-day forecast, as we're going to be seeing those 50s really dominate and take hold of our forecast, especially as we go into the first true week of spring, guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Thank you for joining us as we leave you a live look at outside. Make it a great day.